And we are rolling. Hey guys, it's your buddy Jake Dominguez back with another movie review. Today I'm going to review the brand new film, Going in Style, directed by Zach Braff. That's right, the guy who was in Scrubs. And directed Garden State. Yeah, I like that movie. Let's see how this one turns out. So, Going in Style has a huge, big, awesome cast. It stars Michael Caine, Morgan Freeman, Alan Arkin, three legends of the acting world. I mean, look at those filmographies. They speak for themselves. They're awesome. They're icons. And they star in this movie that's basically a comedy and a heist film. They play these three old seniors who are still working, who are poor, and they all have their, representative life's problems going on. But basically, these guys are dirt poor. One of them, played by Michael Caine, is totally getting screwed over by his bank. Morgan Freeman's character needs a new kidney, and he needs all these other problems, and he's poor, and he wants to visit his family back at home. And Alan Arkin, he's just grumpy, also poor, and old. They're all basically old men who are looking for some reason just to wake up in the morning. And one day, after they find out that their pensions are going to be taken away from them, but from their job, they decide to get together and pretty much get revenge on this bank that's screwing them over, and they're going to go rob it. And so the rest of the film is an adventure where they try to work together to figure out how they're going to rob this bank, and to figure out how they can successfully succeed doing it. Because on one hand, as far as they can tell, they're old men. They got nothing to lose. But at the same time, they want to get the money. They want to successfully rob the bank. And that's what the whole film, Going in Style, is all about. And I had no idea about this, which says a lot. Like, I think I know a lot about movies, and then you find out something like this. This film is a remake of a film made in the 70s, which I had no idea about that when I went to go see it. So, there you go. It's like, I think I know about movies, maybe not, because I had no idea there was even an original film. So, I gotta see that. I know nothing about it, but another remake for me to review. Just another non-original thing. Yeah, that figures. But anyway, so again, this film has great actors in it. It is a pretty fun, kind of a cool idea for a story. How is it? Well, I enjoyed this movie for what it was. Let's talk about the things I liked in Going in Style. First off, I already talked about how great these actors are, and they do a great job in the film. Morgan Freeman, Michael Caine, and Alan Arkin. These three guys are, again, they all won Oscars. They're all really famous, iconic actors. They can be in anything. You give them the lousiest script, they're going to do a great job. Even Michael Caine acted really, really well in Just the Revenge. Well, at least he was, or at least you can tell he was the only one who knew what movie he was in. Anyway, that's basically what these guys are. I love them. They've been in so many of my favorite movies, and they do a great job in this film. Their chemistry is really good, and they do have some funny moments, and by far that's like the best part of this movie, is just watching these three actors just kind of go off on each other. It's a lot of fun. The rest of the cast is really good as well. Like Ann-Margret, or whatever her name is in this film, and she's really funny. It's really cool to see her. And overall, this is a very entertaining movie. It's a very nice, pleasant, entertaining movie to watch. This is definitely a feel-good movie. It's one of those movies that you watch it and it makes you happy. You know, it does do a good job at getting you on the side and rooting for these three men who have been screwed over by the banks and just by everything around them, who are just like as low as they can go. And they're in the twilight years of their life. That's definitely a recurring theme in this movie, is that they're all old and they want something else to live for, really, with what they have. And I thought that was pretty cool. They do a pretty good job. It's an underdog story, and who doesn't like underdog stories? Zach Braff did a really good job at making a very pleasant movie. Like, that's what this movie is. It's completely not offensive. It's not extremely intense or grabs you and pulls you and never lets you go. It's just a very pleasant movie. That's the word I would describe. It's a movie you sit back and it's like, oh, this is making me feel happy. I like these characters. It's just a very laid back, breezy, pleasant experience of a film. And that's really what it is. And I think if you go into this movie expecting that, you'll probably really enjoy it. For what it is, it's fine. And that's my biggest problem with Going in Style, and the main thing I have to say about it, it's just fine. Like, it's a totally okay movie. Now, remember when I gave my review of The Great Wall, which I recorded on this, like, terrible tablet that I have? I basically talked about all the flaws in that movie and how silly it was and how the character development didn't work and just all the different flaws that film had. This is one of those movies where I almost don't have a lot to say on it. It just kind of is what it is. Even though I do have some flaws with it, they're a lot harder to, well, how do I say this? They're not as easy to pick out, like, oh, the dialogue was bad. Oh, the character development wasn't there. Oh, I didn't like the acting. You know, it's not like that kind of a movie. It's just extremely mediocre. I guess my two biggest problems with this film is that, first of all, it's really predictable. I mean, nothing happens that you don't see coming forever away. Every single story beat, every single character motivation, you know exactly what's going to happen, with the exception of one thing that happens at the end, and I'm not going to spoil it for you because it's literally like the ending of the movie. There's something that happens which I didn't really see coming or wasn't sure if they would go that route, so that was kind of cool. But overall, you see it coming. It's very predictable. It's very beat by beat. And you know what? It's a heist movie. How many heist films have been done in the history of cinema? Literally from the beginning. Remember the Great Train Robbery? It's about a train robbery. There you go. So from that all the way from here, cinema, we've always had stories in cinema about, you know, heist films. Maybe it's just hard to make a really original one nowadays. But in the end, this is a very familiar, formulaic, predictable film. But my second biggest problem with it, besides all that, because it works fine, it's a watchable, entertaining movie, is this. What do you go to see a comedy for? You go see it to laugh, right? You go see to laugh at all the jokes they make. This movie really isn't that funny. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are some laughs in this movie. There are definitely some times where I was definitely laughing out loud and that sort of thing, but they're too few far in between. There's just not enough really big laughs. I mean, Christopher Lloyd, who I had no idea was in this movie till I saw it, is in the film. He's really funny, but he's more over the top compared to everyone else in the movie. And everyone else is definitely doing their best, but it's just not that funny. Like, that was probably the most disappointing thing. There are some laughs in between, and there's some chuckling moments, if that counts, but overall, it's really not that funny, which is the biggest problem you could have in a comedy. If you go to see a comedy and you're not laughing, something's wrong. Having said that, something really interesting happened when I was leaving the theater. I thought the film was fine. It was okay, it was breezy, it was entertaining, it was pretty fun, and it was a movie. You know, what more can you ask for? But something really interesting happened. I was walking out of the theater, and I overheard somebody yell, and it sounded like he was about my age, maybe a little younger, and I just heard as loud as like, he practically yelled it. I heard a guy scream, basically yell, "That was sick!" Ah! I can't exactly do an impression of his voice, but that's what he said. That was sick. And around him I could hear like his family or friends around him were just like, "Yeah, it was good, it was funny. Old guys, yeah," you know, like, they all loved the movie. So much that he called it sick. As in, it was good. It was a good movie. I guess you don't know the slang. I wouldn't call it Going in Style sick. That's going a bit far, but I thought that was interesting. I think the primary audience for this movie will love it. I think people will see this movie and think it's the best movie ever and blah, 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 and all that, which is fine. It's a totally watchable, entertaining movie. There's nothing wrong with that. But as a whole, it's just sort of okay. Like, I didn't love the movie. I didn't hate the movie. I didn't dislike the movie. But it was fine. It was alright. It was a totally adequate, mediocre movie. But at the end of the day, that really isn't enough. Like, I enjoyed the film for what it was. It was very safe. It was breezy. It was entertaining. I thought the acting was really good. But at the end of the day, it's just kind of is what it is. It's just an okay movie. You know, it's just very fine. So I'm going to give Going in Style a C. Just a solid C. I did enjoy it. I did have fun with it. And it's well made. It's and competently directed by Zach Braff. I think it's a totally fine film, but I wouldn't really recommend rushing in a theater to go see it. I think it's more of a rental. Like, that's really what this movie is. It's a rental movie. Like, this is a total perfect example of a movie that I would recommend renting instead of seeing, because you watch it, you'll enjoy it, it's fine, maybe be better than you thought it would be, but overall, it's just okay. So guys, that's my review for today. I'm sorry that this last week hasn't had a couple of reviews for a little while. As you can probably tell, I'm kind of getting over a little bit of a cold I've had. Kind of that combined with allergies and this kind of, allergy hay fever season has made my voice a little rough and my nose a little runny, blah, blah, blah. So I haven't been able to record as many videos as I've wanted to. But don't worry, I'm going to try to at least record another review for tomorrow. And I got an exciting new series of reviews, which I'm going to be starting very, very soon, which I'm super excited about. So don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned. Guys, you are the greatest. I cannot believe the amount of subscribers I've had and the response I've gotten to my videos. Look at this. My light's broken right there. It's dark in here. I'm doing the best I can with what I have, but this is about as low budget as it gets. I'm not special. I'm sick right now. Like, there's nothing really... What's the word I'm looking for? I guess I'm just me. I know that this isn't the most high-tech, greatest YouTube channel in the world yet. I'm still learning. But the fact that you're watching and you're subscribed to my channel means the world. I can't say that enough, and thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, and of course, please do not forget to subscribe. Never, ever, ever forget, I am your friend. I am always going to be there for you. Never forget that. I will always be there. You guys are my friends. Thank you so much, and I will see you next time.